Corey Kluber has indeed been awesome all year long, especially since coming off the DL. Sale and Dallas Keuchel have been good as well. Salesy, the only one who's avoided catastrophic injury. I use that term loosely. They're all on the mound tonight, and they're 1-2-3 in ERA in the American League, Dylan, among pitchers with at least 80 innings pitched. So if you were managing a team that had all three of these men ready, willing, and able, and you had one game to win, who are you giving that ball to?
I'd be a good manager then. I'd be a
Yes,
real
you would.
good manager.
Yes, you would.
Just for the purpose of this argument, let's take Dallas Keuchel out of it. He's not on the same level, especially since coming back from the injury, as these other two guys. You saw the numbers there. It becomes a two-horse race between Kluber and Sale, and man, is it tough. The numbers are almost identical. I know Sale has a little bit of an edge in ERA, in WHIP, in wins, mainly in the counting stats like wins and strikeouts because he's got more starts and more innings with Kluber missing a little bit of time. But if I had one start, one wild card game, if you will, a Game 7 of the World Series, and both these guys were at my disposal, I'd go Corey Kluber.
Ooh.
He's just a little bit more consistent for me. I think when you break down all the numbers, you really got to go to a next-level stat like xFIP, which is an ERA, fielding independent ERA, where it just shows that Corey Kluber has a 2.39 fielding independent ERA, where Chris Sale has a 2.69 fielding independent ERA. And I think a lot of that has to do with Corey Kluber is a better ground ball pitcher and gets a better ground ball rate. Chris Sale, just the arm angle he comes at, sometimes he challenges guys high in the zone. He leaves it there, and he can get taken deep. Look at his last start against the White Sox where he did give up 7 earned runs. So as great as both these guys are, I also look at Corey Kluber's postseason experience.
Yeah.
You know, he was the ace of a team that won the pennant and went to Game 7 of the World Series. He has several postseason starts under his belt, of which his ERA is 1.83. Unbelievable stuff. You look at Chris Sale, yet to make his first postseason appearance. I think he's going to be great when he makes his first postseason appearance, but I just don't know that. I know it with Kluber, and just that consistency. Kluber doesn't seem to have that kind of blow-up game that Chris Sale had his last time out. Now, Chris Sale will go 7 awesome ones, 1 blow-up.
Yeah.
But Kluber just doesn't seem to have really any blow-up. Sometimes he'll give up 2-3 runs, and then he'll have 6 or 7 unbelievable 1 or no earned runs. It's really tough. I'd love to. This is what they call a champagne problem, but I think for me, I'd lean towards the righty.
I think I would ever so slightly lean towards Corey Kluber as well, and maybe I am being a prisoner of the moment because Kluber's in such awesome form, and I did recommend him tonight over Chris Sale in daily fantasy.
I wanted to make you look smart.
It was a tiebreaker. Kluber was $200 cheaper, so
Yeah.
I saved an extra $200. But you're picking nits when it comes to these two.
You
I
really
would
are.
say Kluber.
This is going to be a really exciting down the stretch
It
Cy
will
Young
be.
race because
It will be.
It looked like Sale was going to run away. First, it looked like we were going to hand it to Dallas
Keuchel.
Keuchel. Then the injury really handed it to Sale, but Kluber's ever so closely closed that gap, and it's going to be a really interesting last 6-7 weeks of the season to see who grabs that award.
Might get yourself a plaque in Cooperstown as the manager of that staff that has Keuchel,
I think I
Sale, and Corey
If I don't
Kluber.
win with those guys, then I should go coach volleyball.